Assalamu alaikum, dear students. We were discussing the kingdom animalia. और हमने ये डिस्कस किया कि जो एनिमल किंगडम है, there are various phyla. The first phylum is phylum porifera, commonly also called as sponges. Even calcium is sponges because these are the pore bearing animals, means their body is perforated by means of various pores. So that is why they have been termed as poriferous or sponges. और इनकी जो फीचर्स है, सबसे पहले फीचर है इनमें हैबिटेट, मींस ये कहाँ पे रहते हैं. These animals are the phylum porifera. These are exclusively marine. That means they live in the slime water, except one family, that is the spongilidae family, that lives in fresh water. और इस स्पॉन्जिलिडी की एग्जाम्पल है स्पॉन्जिला. तो this spongilidae is the lone family of this phylum porifera, which is fresh water, and the rest of the species are marine. That is why these are exclusively marine, except this spongilidae. Now, moving towards the next point, that is that they possess the different pores. हमने पहले ही कहा कि their body is perforated, and they have the two types of the pores. Number first one is the ostium. This one is ostium. Plural को हम कह सकते हैं ostia. Ostia. Plural. So first type of the pore is ostium. These pores are the incurrent pores, and the second type of the pore is osculum. And this osculum is the excurrent pore. Ostium यहाँ पे बहुत सारे होते हैं, बहुत सारे. While as osculum single होता है. In a few species, the number of the osculum may be 2, 3 or up to 7. But generally singly होता है osculum. But ostia बहुत सारे होते हैं. तो through the ostium, the water enters in the body cavity. That body cavity is called as spongiosium. So that is why the ostium have been termed as incurrent pores. And while as through the osculum the water comes out, and thus together they form a canal system. That system is termed as canal system, which is a diagnostic feature of the phylum poriferans. और इस canal system की importance क्या है? इसकी importance है, first of all, through the ostium the water enters in the body. Through that ostium the water enters in the body cavity, that is called as spongiosium. That means using water under top, that means obviously oxygen as well as nutrients. So oxygen to nutrients trap in cells, the cells which forms the body wall of the poriferans, and they releases or they excretes the carbon dioxide as well as the waste material, and that waste material as well as carbon dioxide is eliminated through the osculum. So that is the importance of the canal system. That is the importance of ostium as well as osculum. That means through the ostium oxygen be food particles, while as through the osculum carbon dioxide as well as waste material. So that is the importance of the canal system, or the importance of ostium as well as osculum. Now moving towards another point, the phylum porifera, they are provided with the skeleton, especially the endoskeleton. इसका साइनिक बॉडी में endoskeleton, that is made of cartilage and the bones. Likewise, इनका जो endoskeleton है, that is made up of spicules. इनमें ससनी ही शासन इम्स needle like structures होते हैं, उनको हम कहते हैं spicules. The spicules are either made up of calcium carbonate. अगर calcium carbonate का नहीं बनी में तेल वो calcareous spicules. In addition to, they are also made of silica. अगर सिलिका acid बनी में तेल बनो ये siliceous spicules. Now, in addition to their skeleton is also made up of the proteinaceous threads called as spongin fibers. And both these spicules as well as spongin fibers, they give protection or support to their body. Now, moving towards another point, that's the body wall. Their body wall is made up of the two layers. First one is the epidermis. This one is the epidermis. And next is the gastrodermis. This one is the gastrodermis. Epidermis as well as gastrodermis. The epidermis, it is the outermost wall of the body and is made up of pinacocytes, flat cells. Such cells have been termed as pinacocytes. That is why the epidermis is also termed as pinacoderm. While as the inner wall, that is termed as gastrodermis. This gastrodermis, it surrounds or it lines the body cavity. That body cavity is called as spongiosum. And this gastrodermis, it is made up of special cells. Those cells are called as conocytes. Those cells are called as conocytes, or also termed as collar cells. ये एक सेल है, ये कॉलर सेल है या कोनोसाइट है. सेल क्या है, इसमें शबाश क्या कंट्रैक्टाइल यहाँ पे कॉलर बन जाता है. जिस तरह हमारी शर्ट में कॉलर होता है उसी तरह यहाँ पे भी कॉलर होता है इन सेल्स में. शबाश. तो उनको हम कहते हैं कॉलर सेल्स और कोनोसाइट्स. फॉर एग्जांपल दिस इज द सेल. अब यहाँ पे क्या होता है, शबाश, यहाँ पे कॉलर होता है, कंट्रैक्टाइल कॉलर. So that is why this cell is termed as collar cell or the conocyte. और यहाँ पे क्या होता है, through this collar there arises the flagella. So because of the presence of conocytes or the collar cells, the gastrodermis is also termed as conoderm. और ये collar cells इनकी importance क्या है? They help us in the trapping of the food particle. क्या जिस food particle यपर जाओ through the osteovoth spongiosum, that particle is trapped by the flagellum of the collar cell, and that food particle is then engulfed as well as digested by this collar cell. That means इम छी पत engulf करन और अथ food particles पर digest कर. That means their main function is digestion. They perform the intracellular digestion. Stop. Pause. Now, अब हमें पता चला the body wall of the porifera is made of two layers. Outer one is termed as epidermis and the inner one is termed as gastrodermis, or also termed as conoderm. Now, in between the two layers, there is a space, non-cellular space, that's called as mesoglia. That's called as mesoglia. This mesoglia is not empty space. However, it occupies some cells. It contains some cells, different types of cells. These ones. These cells derive either from the epidermis or from the gastrodermis. But itself, it is non-cellular. You should not say pan banyu shabas kya cell nun kya, but it contains the cells. Kaun se cells hai? Number first one is the trophocytes. These trophocytes, they help in the digestion as well as the transportation of the food particle. जैसे हमने पहले ही कहा, ये जो collar cells हैं, they trap the food particle as well as digest the food particle. तो यहाँ पे partial digestion होती है, but final digestion trophocytes में होती है. और उसके बाद the digested food particle is transported to the different body parts or different cells. So that is why they help in the digestion as well as the transportation of food particle. Now, next type of the cell यहाँ पे जो होती है, शाबाश, in the mesoglia, that is the thymocytes. और thymocytes का काम क्या है? They stores the extra food material and provides the food material when there is a requirement. So simply, they help us in the storage of the food particles. Now, another, the most important cell जो यहाँ पे है, cells है archaeocytes. Archaeocytes are the undifferentiated cells or the stem cells or totipotent cells. Means कहाँ से cell degenerate गए destroy the cell, these cells, archaeocytes, then gets modified in that type of the cell. So that is why they have been termed as totipotent cells or stem cells. Now last type of the cell जो यहाँ पे है scleroblasts. Scleroblasts, they secretes the spicules as well as the spongian fibers. Now moving towards another feature of the now moving towards another point, that is the digestion. Digestion यहाँ पे intracellular है. Intracellular means that digestion which is performed within the cells. And this digestion, intracellular digestion, is a primitive type of the digestion, and is initially performed by the collar cells, then later on the trophocytes. So initial digestion collar cells में होती है, and the final digestion occurs within the trophocytes. Now moving towards the another feature यहाँ पे respiration. The respiration occurs through the general body surface. क्योंकि यहाँ पे cellular grade of organization है, टिश्यू यहाँ पे है ही नहीं, ऑर्गन यहाँ पे है ही नहीं, तो सिस्टम वगैरह यहाँ पे एब्सेंट है. But still respiration occurs through the general body surface by a process that is called as diffusion. क्योंकि बाहर शब्द क्या, ऑक्सीजन ज्यादा है, यहाँ पे कम है, that is why oxygen diffuses into the cells through the general body surface by a process that is called as diffusion. Likewise, excretion, it also occurs through the general body surface, again by the process that is called as diffusion. Now moving towards the last point, that is the reproduction. Here both asexual as well as the sexual reproduction occurs. Here the asexual reproduction, it occurs either by dividing or by the regeneration. और ये कहा गया है कि जो porifera है, they have the highest power of regeneration. क्योंकि regeneration इसलिए है because of the presence of the totipotent cells called as archaeocytes. यहाँ पे archaeocytes है, और ये भी शब्द क्या है, प्रूव हुआ है कि अगर इस ये कहाँ थे porifera अनु पत करो कि क्रश इन pestle and mortar, पत करो सु crushed material करो वस filter through शब्द क्या paper, through filter. युस ताकि पत नेरे filtered particles नेरे, they regenerate their new individual. This indicates the power of regeneration in case of their porifera. And they possess the highest power of regeneration. And their sexual reproduction, it is again, यहाँ पे gonads नहीं है, but gametes are produced. Both male and female gametes are produced through by the archaeocytes. क्योंकि archaeocytes यहाँ पे totipotent cells हैं, they can differentiate into any type of cell, just like the gametes. And gametes helps in the reproduction. And here the development is generally the indirect. Indirect means इधर larva develop guys. और यहाँ पे larva है, शबाश यहाँ पे commonly found larva है amphiblastula, as well as parenchyma. These are the two important larval stages that occur in the life stages of the porifera. और in porifera की example क्या है? That is the cycon. इनका जो representative है, cycon. Another one is spongia or spongilla, aplecula, etc. With this, we have completed the first phylum, that is the phylum porifera. इंशाल्लाह जो हमारा next lecture है, उसमें हम discuss करेंगे the phylum Coelenterata. Till then, goodbye and God bless.